Charlie, we're here at Donington Park. It's for TCR UK and all the support category sort of test day ahead of a season that's very fast approaching. Tell us a bit about you to start with and your sort of background and history in racing, just to start off this interview.
Yeah, so I started, well, it seems like a long time ago. 2015 I really started. I went off to rental karting, and I really enjoyed it. And I had the bug from when I was younger. I was always watched the Formula One, British touring cars. So it kind of got me into that swing of things. So yeah, I moved on to rental karting in 2016 and got into owner karting when I was in 2019. Worked my way through that, did the British karting championships, and been through it all. And I'm still in karting now. I now have my own driver coaching platform to help younger drivers who are in my position that time ago, and helping them reach out. And then the whole idea with the cars came around in 2023. So I had the opportunity to go and do the last 2 rounds of the Junior Fiesta Championship in 2023, and it went really well. Didn't get the results we wanted, but it was always a good stepping stone, and it helped me into 2024, which is when we competed in the Fiesta ST240 Championship, which was a crazy year. To be honest, we were on a real shoestring. I was really fortunate. My parents had the opportunity to remortgage the house, which put the money towards the racing. So for that, I'm ever so thankful for it, because without that, we wouldn't have been here. And yeah, they kind of said, we've got a year. This is your opportunity. You've got to go and do it now. So yeah, we went into 2024. To be honest, if we had a test day or two before the race season, it would have been completely different. But the first couple of rounds were tough to hit. I mean, we weren't up there. We were in the mid pack, near the back of the pack, and that was just because track time. Track time is so important in these cars, and just learning just the little bits that get you that extra tenth. But as the season went on, we started getting a bit stronger. We had Alton Park 2 podiums, which was a really good way to start the mid-season and go into the summer break. And through that summer break, it was just hard at it, going to the gym, doing all the fitness and also doing all the simulator training and just learning more about the car. The car is so important, especially the 240s. They're a different breed of car to anything I've ever really experienced. So yeah, after the summer break, we went into like a full-on winning streak. We got two wins at Silverstone, which that is unbelievable. I mean, Silverstone is the home of British motorsport, and you watch the F1 drivers, you watch the touring car drivers race there, and you used to dream, and I used to dream. One day I want to be there. And when the opportunity came, and when we got those wins, it was like, wow, this is really it. And as well as that, we got a Thruxton, we got a podium, which that was just brilliant. That was it was an interesting weekend, that, because the rain suddenly came down, and everyone was asking me and my dad, and we're like, we don't know what we're going to do, because it was the first time we'd ever driven in the wet. And just in that scenario, it was like, well, we know we had the experience from karting with the rain, but actually going to a car and racing in the rain, it's a different sort of breed. So it was a very interesting race. But you know what? The whole 2024 year was just a massive learning curve, and it set me up brilliantly for 2025. And I've met so many people who are willing to help me out throughout 2025. So that's really what 2024 has been about, and that's what my whole career has been about. It's just making contacts, building that network, and bringing it into 2025.
Yeah, I love it. You've given me a whole season review there. So 2024, it was a very busy year for you. We're now sort of end of February, and the season's fast approaching. A bit uncertain with what's going on for the rest of the year. However, I know there's a lot of hard work going on behind the scenes. Just explain to everyone how frantic it is at the minute, because there's all sorts going on, isn't there?
Yeah, unfortunately for my side of things, the financial side is always going to be hard. I mean, as we said, my parents remortgaged the house so I could race last year, which, I don't think many parents would even think to do that. So to be given that opportunity was really good, but it's come to that point now where I need to be fully funded by sponsors. It's not like, I can pay for a little bit and a sponsor can pay for the rest. It's now or never. So yeah, it's been a lot of hard work behind the scenes, trying to just get some sort of money in. We're still at it, and if anyone on the YouTube or anything is interested, please drop me an email at charliesmotorsport@gmail.com, on the social medias as well, Charlie S Motorsport. We have a really big and ever growing social media presence, and I've always had this nickname called Chellis, and throughout the year I've been able to walk around the paddock and I can hear people shouting my name, and it's like it's been really cool. And that I think the promotional side of things has been really well for me. I've definitely got my name out there through 2024 and even through the karting stuff. But yeah, behind the scenes it's been very stressful. It's still not looking certain to start the year, but we're putting all the work in, and it will just be what it'll be. I mean, unfortunately, in this game, until the opportunity comes around, you can't do anything. So yeah, it's just gonna be a big waiting game. But yeah, we're always putting in the work. We're always gonna put in the work. That's how I've lived. I've always put the work in to do whatever it was. Maybe if it's as littlest thing, I'll put 100% into it, and that's how you got to be in this game.
You mentioned earlier the likes of driver training and all of this social media and work behind the scenes. Being a racing driver these days, it's a lot more than just driving around the track. In theory, that's the easy bit, isn't it? There's so much other stuff going on. Just explain it to those at home that maybe don't know how it's so much more than just competing at a race circuit at the weekends.
I think the driving bit is just 10% of it. That's the easiest bit of it. Obviously, you got the whole race weekend when you got to, especially when you get your sponsors, you got to sort out all the hospitality, all their tickets, and making sure they're getting the right package that they wish for. I mean, obviously we've got to do a lot of social media stuff, so I always make sure that I always do race week posts, do posts coming up to the weekend, make sure that I'm doing all my race results, and making sure that the people at home are knowing what I'm doing and knowing what I'm getting up to. And as well as that, obviously we said about the financial side of things, making sure we got the money sorted to race, trying to get those sponsors in, and then everything else that comes along with it, trying to sort out the team and making sure the car is set up to how you want it to be, and making sure we're on the pace, trying to balance everything. And then when you're at home as well, you got all the simulator work you got to do, you got all the fitness and everything that goes on behind it. So yeah, as you said, the racing part's only 10%, but everything that goes on around it, I mean, it's a very stressful job. But if we didn't want to do it, we wouldn't do it. So just to have the opportunity to race, I mean, not many people get that opportunity. So to be here and to say that I am a racing driver is something I would have never thought of when I was in my early days watching racing and thinking, oh, this is so cool. I wanna do this someday. Although sometimes you wish, well, I wish I never got into this. It's what you wanted to do, and I've always had that bug, and anything I've done has been motorsport related. I mean, even when you've gone to a birthday party, you want to dress up as a racing driver. From that early age, it was always that's what I wanted to do, and unfortunately, it's had to come to the reality that it's not going to be forever, and you've just got to take every chance you can. But yeah, so much goes on behind the scenes. As you said, 10% of it is racing, and that's the racing bit is the most relaxed bit. Although you got the high pressure, you got the adrenaline going. That's the bit where you feel safe, and you haven't got anything to worry about. You can just drive around, put on the best performance for the fans. But yeah, besides that, everything else is a real stress game.
Absolutely. Well, it'd be boring if it was easy. But Charlie, we wish you all the best of luck, and keep working at it. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.